Look, we'd all do anything for our dogs, right? Of course we would. But what if I told you that the simple, loving act of filling their food bowl every day could actually be harming them? Let's uncover the hidden dangers you might not even know are there.
So let's just rip the Band-Aid off. 83%. According to a brand new 2025 veterinary nutrition report, that's how many dog owners are unknowingly shortening their pet's life. This isn't about being a bad owner, not at all. It's about well-intentioned habits that have serious, unseen consequences.
And that's the key thing here. These are common mistakes, things people do every single day thinking they're doing the right thing. In this explainer, we're going to drag these hidden dangers into the light and give you the simple, actionable fixes to correct them.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the mistakes hidden in your day-to-day routine. Then, we're going to investigate what's really inside that bag of dog food. And finally, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of portions, table scraps, and water.
All right, let's dive right into section 1, your daily habits. Because believe me, how and when you feed your dog can be just as critical as what you're feeding them.
The first big mistake is feeding your dog only once a day. You know, that big meal in the evening? The problem is, this lets stomach acid build up all day, which is really uncomfortable for them. But the real danger? A UCLA study found it leads to a 73% higher risk of gastric torsion, that's bloat, where the stomach literally twists on itself. It's catastrophic. The fix is so easy. Just split that same amount of food into 2 meals. A Harvard study showed that this one little change can add more than 2 years to their life. It's a no-brainer.
Okay, mistake number 2 has to do with that simple plastic or metal bowl you use. Seems harmless, right? But it could be having a huge impact on your dog's mental health. Think about it. In the wild, they'd spend hours a day foraging for food. We give it to them and it's gone in 90 seconds.
This quote from the source material, wow, it really hits hard, doesn't it? Studies are now showing that dogs fed only from bowls can show brain activity similar to humans with clinical depression. They're literally bored out of their minds. They need that mental stimulation, and the food bowl takes it all away.
The good news is, the fix is actually super easy, and honestly, kind of fun. You just have to engage their natural instincts. Scatter their kibble in the grass and let them sniff it out. Get a puzzle feeder. Heck, you can even just roll it up in an old towel. It turns mealtime from a 90-second chore into a stimulating, rewarding game.
All right, we need to talk about a mistake that is genuinely a matter of life and death: exercising right after they eat. This is the #1 trigger for GDV, or bloat. Their stomach fills with gas, it flips over, and it can kill them in a matter of hours. It is terrifying.
So please, burn this rule into your brain. Walk first, feed second. Always. And after they eat, wait at least 30 minutes before any kind of running around or intense play. I'm telling you this from personal experience. This mistake nearly cost me my own German Shepherd, and it is a mistake I will never, ever make again.
And that bloat risk isn't just about when they eat, it's also about how fast. Just look at this chart. Dogs that wolf down their food in under 2 minutes have a 5 times higher risk. The solution? A slow feeder bowl. It's a simple plastic maze that forces them to take their time. It's not a gimmick, it's a lifesaver.
Okay, so we've got the routine down. We know the when and where. Now let's move on and talk about the food itself. What are we actually putting inside that bowl?
I want you to go grab your dog's food bag. Seriously, pause this and go get it. Now look at the ingredient list. Is the very first ingredient a named meat, like chicken or salmon? If not, that's a huge red flag. And if you see the words meat byproducts, you need to know that can legally include things like beaks, hooves, and even tumor tissue. Also keep an eye out for cheap fillers like corn and soy, and especially cancer-linked chemical preservatives like BHA and BHT.
Another critical mistake is feeding the same adult food their whole life. Think about it. You wouldn't feed a growing toddler the same diet as a 90-year-old, right? It's the same for dogs. A puppy needs tons of protein and very specific calcium levels to build strong bones. A senior dog's metabolism slows way down, and they need fewer calories to avoid getting overweight. Their needs are completely different at different stages of life. And making sure their food matches their age pays off in the most important way possible: more time with them. An Ohio State veterinary study found that dogs fed age-appropriate diets lived, on average, 1.7 years longer. It's about feeding their life stage, not just feeding a habit. Okay, let's talk about the big one: kibble versus fresh food. The problem with most kibble is the high-heat process used to make it. It can literally cook away up to 60% of the vital nutrients.
On the other hand, multiple peer-reviewed studies are showing the incredible benefits of a balanced fresh food diet. For example, a major Purdue study found that just adding some fresh vegetables to a dog's diet reduced the risk of bladder cancer by an incredible 90%.
All right, we are in the home stretch. Section 3. This is where we cover those little details that are so easy to overlook, but trust me, they have a massive impact on your dog's health in the long run.
This number right here, it's just shocking. Nearly 60% of dogs in the US are clinically obese. And what's the #1 cause? We are. We're eyeballing their food portions. That little extra scoop you add because they're looking at you with those sad eyes, it's quietly, lovingly stealing years from their life.
And here's the proof of just how high the cost is. A landmark 15-year study from Cornell University took littermates, brothers and sisters, and fed one group just a little too much, and the other a precise, measured portion. The dogs on the measured diet lived, on average, 2.8 years longer. The fix is as simple as a $6 measuring cup. Use it every single time.
Now let's talk about table scraps. We all know chocolate's bad, but the real danger list is so much longer. Grapes and raisins can cause instant kidney failure. Xylitol, which is a sweetener in everything from peanut butter to chewing gum, causes liver failure. And onions and garlic, which are in almost all our sauces and seasoned foods, they literally destroy a dog's red blood cells. You have to be so careful.
This quote right here just says it all. Giving your dog leftovers isn't a treat. It's playing Russian roulette with their health. Real love is protecting them, and sometimes that means saying no, even to those adorable puppy dog eyes.
And finally, let's talk about the water bowl. You might want to sit down for this. Studies have found that unwashed dog bowls are breeding grounds for nasty bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella. Your dog is basically drinking from a petri dish. But the fix is so easy. Wash the bowl with soap and water every day. Refill it with fresh water a couple of times a day, and maybe add a second bowl somewhere else in the house so they're never without it.
So the big takeaway from all of this is actually pretty simple and really empowering. Yeah, we've covered a lot of mistakes, but every single one of them has an easy, actionable solution. These small adjustments, things you can start doing today, can lead to huge positive changes in their health and, most importantly, their lifespan.
So I'm going to leave you with this question. After everything you've just heard, what is the one small change you are going to make starting today for the dog that gives you their entire world? Think about it. And more importantly, go do it.